before.
Yeah, it's definitely happened before, but these are going to be some tough game types. Take down STR8 Rippin, and we got Fathom CTF, Coliseum Slayer, Rig Strongholds, Truth CTF. Ending up, if we do need game 5, 6, and 7, we Regret Slayer, Eden Strongholds, and Plaza Slayer. So one thing I think that Arrow would do very well in is something like possibly like Truth CTF and like the Regret Slayers. I kind of question, though, how they're going to hold up in something like Fathom CTF or Plaza Slayer. It seems like it's going to be a bit more organization, whereas when they won that series against VT, that last one, like Truth and Regret Slayer kind of play pretty similar. Yeah, clearly there's a difference in where the power-up is placed and how you fight for it and the power positions you hold, but those are pretty similar. And then when they won Empire Strongholds, I felt like that's kind of one of the most chaotic, I would guess, like objectives you can play, and it's really tough to make, I would say, quote-unquote bad decisions. I feel like in most cases on Empire, if you outslay, you're going to be just fine.
And one thing's for sure, Kratos being at the right place at the right time, straight six shooting well, is a great recipe for success for Era. That's what they have going on right now, moving into this grand finals.
Yeah, so I'm not sure we're going to kick it off with, but we're going to have to see what they can show us here in this upcoming one, because if they don't come out strong, it's going to be tough. So show us what's going on right here, Musa.
Show us what you got. I want to see what you got. Musa.
Dude, I'm going to miss Rick and Morty, man. Dude, I was watching that like every Sunday for a while.
I hope the chat gets what I just put down. I hope that's not too much over everyone's head right now. But yeah, Fathom CTF, 30 seconds into this one. Little Musa point of view. Denoxide, he's going to get a kill onto Kratos, and I'm not sure what happened with that railgun. You don't see it on the map. There it is. Musa, he's going to find it as well. Trying to put it to use, gets that melee right there onto Baby J, but he gets dropped immediately. And CTF Fathom, it's not necessarily, STR8 Rippin's best game type, but like you said, Era, they struggled in CTFs, especially with CTFs that had some sort of map control that has to do with weapons. But I love this flank from Neptune. He's pretty much the only saving grace right now for Era, but shot down immediately.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was in a great position where if his team got the kills, I was going to say that could have been an absolute capture. But the moment he pulled the flag, it looked like from his POV that was fine. It's like, oh, wow, we got a kill. I'm going to run this right now, which is the right mindset. But he was the last one alive. So there was also just one of those natural mistakes where Neptune needs to react to those situations and know to not pull that flag and just to bail immediately.
Really nice teamwork coming in there from STR8. Commonly going to work with his teammate right there to drop the player that had him down to no shields already. Denoxide going to get the kill onto Kratos. Looks like the flag is fairly close to going in right there. And looks like it is going to go in. 1-0 for STR8 Rippin to start. 1 minute and 40 seconds into this game. Commonly still trying to stay alive. No shields, dancing around. And Dave, that's what you said. He does so well. And Ace as well. They have a great instinct for staying alive in situations where they got to avoid grenades. Denoxide did it very well, and Eden as well. Era, they got to get it going in CTF. They cannot afford to, again, just give up the objective games and let the Slayers go into their favor. Ooh, nice little play from Denoxide, giving Neptune the business. He's going for the triple kill now. Can he find it? He is, making it look too easy bottom center.
Yeah, one of the problems, though, is even though he got that near triple kill, there's a member over his own base, and STR8 Rippin are still just focused on that. Straight Sick doing a great job distracting over there, but in most cases, when someone gets a double or triple kill like that, your team should be on the offensive. You should be near grabbing some sort of flag. You should have control of top center, and STR8 Rippin has none of the above.
Exactly, that's so key, and we've seen it happen in previous series before too, in different teams and in different situations, obviously. But whenever someone ends up getting that triple kill, it should result in some sort of aggression, but not even objective aggression, at least advancing onto the map and getting some sort of control. And now Kratos, he's going to try to sneak his way into the STR8 Rippin base commonly. He's going to answer that, but you could see right now, Era, they have the middle of the map under control. STR8 Rippin, they're going to have to push over here and get on over towards the top center area. The good sign for them, though, is that they are using great teamwork on that side of the map, clearing out their treehouse. You don't want the enemy to get into that general vicinity, because that means they are going to get eventually control of your base. Baby J makes his way on over towards the top center with this railgun combo. Got to watch out over towards the right side, and he checks that, has two teammates over there, so all is well over there. But they need someone to fly in and kind of distract over here down towards the bottom middle and getting some flag aggression for once they start getting the slays. However, great defense from Era coming in. A 2-on-2. Wow, are you kidding me? It looked like they had it, but Baby J, all of a sudden with the miraculous railgun coming in, 3 members on the player outlines popping up on over towards the silo area. Great grenade coming in towards bottom center. Looks like this flag capture should go in for STR8, and it does.
Yeah, so what I was a little concerned about before was Straight Rippin just taking too long. It felt like they were spending too long on their half of the map, just clearing out kills, but it looks like they'd like to be methodical. Looks like they want to just clear out everyone on their side, then push up towards center, then get the kills, then pull the flag, instead of just leaving anything to chance, because sometimes, I guess, leaving a person back at your base can be somewhat risky. If you don't get the kills in top center, they could get some sort of counter pull, and maybe Straight Rippin is uncomfortable in the situations, but they just executed that perfectly. As soon as they got those kills, that was just a quick cap.
Commonly just has one guy to focus on, and Straight Rippin should be able to put this one in. Kratos with the shots on to Baby J, but that's all she wrote. Game number 1, extremely close, and I mean, I'm not sure how fast that was, but we got to be on Goose or
I'm gonna guess
alert.
about like 3:51.
All right,
That's my guess.
I wasn't looking for
I
an
didn't look
exact
at the time,
Dave, but
oh.
thank you for. I said we have to be on Breadstick Alert, and we do have to be on Breadstick Alert. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the stats. Kratos with the 1 in 10 bomb, not the way that you want to start the grand finals. Meanwhile, Commonly 12, 9, and 3, combining for 21 kills or helps towards kills and only 3 deaths. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal way to start this one, but we knew that they were going to have the advantage in the CTFs. They already had the advantage in the series. Now it goes into Coliseum Slayer, and I think this is where the true test is here for both of these teams, because we know how well Era's been able to slay. We know how dominant they've been in game number 2s. Straight Rippin seems to have it all together in a great overall game. Not much weaknesses there, but we did see them struggle in the previous grand finals. Can they come back here and bounce back after being the Legendary Cup number 1 champions here and trying to repeat that in Legendary Cup number 3?
Yeah, this Slayer will kind of dictate the rest of the series for me as well, because I think that's kind of been Era's bread and butter so far in these last couple series that we've watched. And if they are not somehow able to take away these Slayers from Straight Rippin, I just don't know how they're going to be able to take this entire series. So that game was so quick, though, as you pointed out. It was just every single flag grab Straight Rippin ran. Were they 3 for 3 with flags? I assume so.
I'm not sure, but I was just, just blown away by the team shooting that was coming in there, especially when Commonly was no shields in front of the base, and he turns around and he's wiggling back and forth and landing some really crispy shots with a nice strafe on, but all of a sudden just fire coming in from both angles and not really letting up on any type of flag runs at all. They weren't slowing it down. They were running it extremely fast, and they were coming back at the right times. Not only that, controlling the map even after the flag capture goes in, which is one of the hardest parts to do in any map, let alone Fathom CTF. And it's pretty rare to see. It's weird how Fathom goes. It's either a complete blowout like that and the team wins 3-0, 3-1, or the game's going to be 1-0 or 2-1, and it may even go into a full replay after that.
Yeah, there's usually those periods in Fathom, despite having big team differences in certain cases, where there's like at least a couple-minute period or a 1-minute period where they're fighting over top center or vying for control, but just felt like Straight Rippin somehow would get control of top center and then instantly go from that stage to pulling the flag right away. And it was never like this period where someone flanks through, because there's just so many routes on Fathom. I'm not sure how Straight Rippin are able to just keep Era completely contained.
It was a very impressive game, no doubt about it, and especially that last flag capture where you're not very often in that position where we're watching a guy's point of view and they're continuing to have all 4 dead while they're running the flag. Typically, you're seeing a flag guy go down or 1 or 2 guys go down here and there, but just a very clean game. But as we said, it was kind of expected, right? The way that we've seen Era not really win a CTF against a team that they should have been. They haven't been able to take a CTF against VT when they played against them. I believe that they had a CTF win against, what was it, Betterville?
Yep.
Right? But again, that was a fairly close game too, in a very close series. So
was it 2-1, I think, on Truth?
I don't even know if they got 3 caps. Yeah, I
think
it was
a
2-1 because that was the game that it was 1-0 and the flag standoff happened, and then they got 2 flag caps off of that and then carried that momentum out throughout the rest of the series and really throughout the rest of the elimination bracket, because they were able to take down VT after being down in that series 2-1. But we got to see some big things, in my opinion, coming out from Straight Sick again. He was the guy that kind of carried in the game to Slayer in that previously series. Heck, he even went big in game number 4 as well. So to me, he's the go-to guy to watch out for on this Era squad.
Yeah, and I'm a little curious as to his grenades were at the start there too, because it's odd that, he got a good spawn. He ran over there so quick, and he's kind of throwing grenades a little further than where a person could possibly be right off the start. So I think he maybe has to reevaluate his grenades at the very start, at least the very first one, because I felt like that one was way too quick.
Yeah, and sometimes best to save your grenades for defensive strategies as well, because you're going to see a lot of players throwing a grenade just to cut off an angle so they can go and buy themselves an escape route. And once you go and waste both of your grenades, you're kind of like a sitting duck in that type of situation when you're sitting over onto that sneaky little ledge there. But a lot of times what you do, Dave, is you kind of throw that grenade just to keep them back, I think, what he's trying to do.
Gotcha.
To say, hey,
Just
I
don't
want to
threat.
advance a little bit further than you. And it also can give you hit markers to show if anyone was on that side of the map. So overall, 7 to 5, not the worst beginning strategy here for Era, but need to utilize the weapons just a little bit longer, as they do get the rockets into Straight Six hand, and they did get the sniper rifle out of Straight Rippin's hands. We're going to see what happens on Baby J's screen as he's rotated all the way over towards top rockets. Has this carbine, but doesn't have much positioning besides the guys in front of him, so he's going to have to wait for more teammates to go in advance, and once they do, maybe he'll try to go and push up, and maybe someone will take his spot, or he could elect just to anchor this down the entire time.
And it looks like Kratos was able to find
Straight
that
Sick.
sniper. I was going to say Ace had died earlier. Yeah, that's a big botch from Straight Sick, because it's not like he even traded right there. It looks like he either jumped off or killed himself with that rocket. But whole point being is I thought the sniper was kind of lost.
He
or
still had
forgotten.
rockets when he fell off?
I'm not sure. I know he had them in his back pocket, so he could have been out of them. I did not see if he had any left. But
Big shots right there from Kratos. Wow, had enough time to switch on over to his Magnum and took down Denoxide. Could have been a very big kill for Straight Rippin. They would have been able to control that side of the base, but yet they're still looking for Kratos, who, smart play, is looking over towards the rockets, but unfortunately, no one made their way on over there. They were focused on taking out the sniper rifle player instead, so a little bit of cat and mouse game going around the weapons, and Straight Rippin going with the bait game.
yeah, that was great play by them, realizing that sometimes when those rockets are up, it's not the same as grabbing like overshield right away, where it's like, all right, I got my hands on, I'm good shape. It's such a vulnerable position that you need to make sure that you're safe grabbing it. And in certain cases, if there's not enough chaos going on around the map, you're better off going around, getting a couple kills, using the rockets themselves as bait, as people are looking up at them, and just getting kills on different locations across the map.
That's twice Kratos' 8 in a rocket right there from Baby J, but this time he lives to tell the tale. Denoxide, he's going to get a return onto Straight Sick. 3 dead for Straight Rippin, as commonly finds himself as the last guy alive. Denoxide, you saw he had the sniper rifle, so not opportune for these guys. Thought the back smack was going to come in. Commonly not pulling the trigger on that one. Neptune going to give him the business there with the carbine and let him know. But Ace, he's going to respond right back with a DMR kill. Now Denoxide going to rotate and try to help these guys on over towards the snipe side. Great shots from Kratos, again, backing down Denoxide. And we haven't been talking about Kratos enough. I mean, he's always, again, putting himself in the right place at the right time, but one of the underrated things is one of the things that a lot of players feel like is his biggest weakness, which has been his shot, but to me it seems like he's definitely improved that again.
And Musa doing a great job, doing some damage, and I was going to commend him for pushing out, get out of there as fast as possible, because he was in so much danger. Looks like he was picked off, but at least brought the sniper back to a more contestable position. Looks like his teammates were not there over at snipe side to be able to contest that fully, but looks like Baby J now has snipe. I'm not sure if he combined, because I know he had sniper earlier on previously, but my guess right now is Baby J probably combined ammo and now has all the sniper ammo in the world. We'll find out in a moment, though. I want to stay on Kratos until he either gets picked off or is not fighting anybody.
Kratos playing this very sneaky now, going to make his way on over towards the blue window. Does he realize there's a player still on over there? He does get the call out from the player on over towards the rocket side, so he's going to take his focus on over there, but can't stay focused too long. Got to be aware of the spawner, so as soon as he sees that guy drop, immediately shifts focus towards the other side of the map, and playing this one fairly well. He's going to drop Ace. That's going to be 4 dead there for Straight Rippin. Great little push here coming in from Era, 27 to 25. They brought it all the way to a 1 kill differential now as Neptune. He's ripping off faces, plenty of ammo left. Can he find the connection onto Ace? Does, and switches on over to his pistol, getting a killing spree. Baby J missing a couple of shots as Neptune going to be able to live with his life on over towards the top rocket side. Curious to see if Ace had that on the death screen, but you can see the players are aware that he's currently still sniping from over here. However, not able to live. Commonly, he's going to die. Kratos finding the kill onto Baby J. Straight Sick finds one onto Denoxide. Now Ace, the last guy alive, crouching inside of the window. At least still alive somehow, buying his team some time. Great move from Ace getting out of there, but yet still control in the hands of Era, and they are not slowing down, Dave. It's been a pretty nice run from them here towards the mid game.
That was such a good push out from Ace, as he was the last one alive as well. He saw that other person sprinting on bridge and then realized that that person was not coming from front bridge, so he decided to take that route. In most cases, when you're trying to hunt down one last player, you aren't just looking at your teammates unless you already hear a call out. So he knew he could have snuck by in that direction. So great play by Ace. But at the end of the day, it's still just a tie game right now, even though Straight Rippin were in the driver's seat earlier on. And look at these guys. They are not happy with each other. Every single death, you are seeing some disrespect or some shots. And this isn't just a one-sided affair either. We've seen plenty of times too where a member like Neptune or such has shot the bodies of Denoxide or other opponents. They're getting each other's heads. These are fierce competitors right now, and you're seeing it come out.
Got beef, Dave? Got beef? These guys do. They got beef. And they're showing it. 36-32, Straight Rippin in the lead, but Era, they have shown some extreme and serious fight. Got to watch out right there if you're Denoxide. Have two players on your radar. Another player down low. Musa with the rockets. Baby J is going to drop to little Neptune as well. Can commonly respond. Has the DMR. Has Musa no shields, but he has to respond to three players from Era on that snipe side. Not able to find the headshot onto Neptune. Musa still located down low, and the teamwork just too strong for Era as they tie it up. Back and forth, Dave. Back and forth we go. Again tied 38-38 here. Advantage heavily in the favor of Era right now as they control rockets, the sniper rifle, and the catwalk side of the map. And now Straight Rippin is advancing on over towards there, but they got to be careful because that's where the weapon guys are located. Yeah,
Little Neptune was doing some good work with Sniper before. Now just needs to make sure that he can watch it on back. That player may have slipped by over in Snipe Cave, luckily showing up on the radar as he was fighting someone else, but this is a moment that Neptune needs to consider if he's going to do fight or flight. Looks like he opts for the latter. But gets some backup from his teammates. I believe that was Kratos and Straight Sick who helped him out. So he's now safe over at Blue Base. Gets to take his time here. So this is an important moment right now. New power weapons are not coming up anytime soon. So this should be a 2-minute period right now where Lil Neptune is able to just pick off kills. So what is happening though is quite the opposite. Looks like two of his teammates, I believe it was Musa and Straight Sick, both got picked off over on Snipe side. That is not what you want to see happen. This is the moments you were talking about earlier, Squared, where give trust to your power-up player, to your power weapon player. Let them get some picks. You need to stay alive, and right there, we saw a couple members of Era not doing that, but looks like now things are kind of going in their way.
Oh!
Look at that no-scope on Ace. What just such a sick snapshot.
Are you kidding me? And they still can't respond. Kratos going to get the kill on a Baby J. Commonly no shields. Is he going to be the 50th kill and the final victim? Kratos, he's looking for that kill. We know that he got the 50th in that Regret Slayer game, 49-46 here. Ace, he's no shield. Straight Sick with the sniper rifle. Can he find the dome? He does. Taken down commonly. Again, we are finding out how good Era is in Slayers here today. They refused to go down in game number 2. They took down VT. Now they take down Straight Rippin in game number 2. Now we move into game number 3 of this best of 7. All tied up 1-1 as we take a look at the stats. It was little Neptune with that little sniping spree that really made the difference here. 16, 3, and 11. Straight Rippin out assisting in terms of the team shot and the stats, but the big stat that matters is that 50th and final kill going on the board. Straight Sick with the nice snipe. 10 power weapon kills overall. Straight Rippin, they are only at 5. So again, in a 4-kill game, the big difference right there. Rig Strongholds, game number 3. So again, that's why it's so important to win that game. In game number 2, we saw some sloppy Rig Strongholds play coming up against Betterville. Again, we're not sure how good that Betterville team is, but the fact that they fought very hard in game number 1 and game number 3, and then again here now in the grand finals, Era's going up against Straight Rippin. So it wasn't like just some pushover series there in that elimination semifinals. Definitely some formidable opponents, but Rig Strongholds seem to be a little bit of a weakness spot, and we'll see if Straight Rippin can exploit that. On the other hand, though, little Neptune getting it going. That's what we were looking for quite some time now today in this series. Now Neptune finally putting it together.
Yeah, Neptune was doing some work during that last game, and it's also reinforcing to see Kratos kind of turn that around as well. Think about that previous game. He had a breadstick, and Musa also had 0 assists during that Fathom CTF game. So it's awesome to see how Air is able to turn around from game to game. Sometimes you see one team just crumble after they have a bad game like Fathom CTF, but Air is showing they're the real deal on Slayer. They're outclassing Straight Rippin when it came to that Coliseum Slayer, and like you said right now, the Rig Strongholds, this is going to be a real question. I'm still kind of feeling that Era are not as strong when it comes to overall, like, more complicated objective maps.
One of the things that they were doing very well was Neptune staying alive on that side of the base, but his teammates were going and not getting too aggressive. Remember when we were talking about the furthest person dying too much? Well, they did that, but yet Straight Sick was there to answer the call after. And they were in position to clean up the kills. And that's the problem that they were having previously, and they fixed it. So it's nice and reassuring to see that Era is actually improving as the day is going on, but still, a lot of work to be cut out if they want to win this Legendary Cup number 3. They got to start taking some objective games. They got to start getting it going on something besides Team Slayer here. Now we're on Rig Stronghold's commonly point of view. He's helping Ace secure that camouflage, but didn't realize there's a player shooting him down from the trenches. It's going to be Kratos with the battle rifle. Kratos looking for some more blood. Commonly, a couple sloppy shots right there, and he's going to have to back down.
Yeah, it seemed like he assumed he had that fight, and Kratos just working his way out of that bad position. So great shots by Kratos right there, completely backing down Commonly, who had every advantage in every sense.
Commonly still laying down some damage, finding the double kill, has the triple kill on over towards the Carbine. That's going to be Kratos. Kratos going to live. He's going to try to run away there, but not for long, as he does get cleaned out right there. So now we're in a situation where BR base under control, Strip, and they have to go on over towards the nest. That's the problem that we saw Era making, is they wouldn't control this Whitehall area. They would go on over and try to desperate on over towards the BR base, then immediately leave that back end open, but Commonly, he is bouncing back strong after that Game 2 performance here, starting it off with a killing spree, but yet still not able to capture that nest side as Straight Up and desperately wants to get that one. Baby J going to be able to secure that, as it looks like Ace was able to land on a ground pound over towards that overpass area. And now this is a pretty powerful position for Commonly to be in. He has a player on his radar. He's locking down this whole barrel area single-handedly, and now the rest of his team, all they have to worry about is that Nest Bridge Whitehall area.
Yeah, and look at this difference in strategy. If you were watching the earlier series, Era versus Betterville, you notice how Straight Rippin', they aren't fully forcing trying to get BR base. They realize how important basement and nest are. Even though they lost a couple members there, I'm assuming they're just going to hold on to these two. Denoxide looking like he backs down completely. He could have easily pushed up towards bunker and blocked those spawns and potentially got BR base, but prioritizing nest and basement.
Looks like he has a player one shot around the corner. Can he land the scatter shot? He does, but Basement ends up getting captured because of the barrels push coming in. Denoxide, he's going to make his way on over towards BR, and we know that Era doesn't want to let this happen. I'd be surprised to see if I don't see all of them flying over here towards the BR, but they may have learned from their mistakes. Now maybe making the rotation over towards Nest, controlling that Whitehall area. Camo was something that was on the map too for the players to grab, but Denoxide, he's going to run right into the railgun of Musa. Now the rotation coming in on over towards the Nest Bridge, and now they're flying on over.
I don't
towards
disagree
the
with
BR
this one
base.
though. This is more of a pressure going for a trip cap. There's a difference between going for a pressure for a trip cap and legitimately just straight up trading. And right now, looks like they gave up a few too many lives there. I believe that's Straight Sick and Musa getting picked off, heading on over towards BR base. Kratos scrapping that for his teammates though, killing Denoxide commonly. Knowing where the last one is, Baby J is going to be is going to get a lot of pressure put on him as he's over towards that snipe hall. But end of the day, they all get taken out.
That's one of those BR pushes that doesn't make sense to me though, right there. You see that, Dave? Yeah. Where now they're sacrificing basement for BR, and now you see Ness is already on the verge of being captured. He's not going to get this if he's Commonly. It'd be very shocking to see them be able to pull that one out, but if you're Straight, you're going to take that trade right there. And Era, they need to be careful about which, and they need to pick and choose which strongholds they are going to decide if they want to control here. And we all know BR base is not the ideal one out of the three. You're going to want to take Nest, you're going to want to take Basement over that any day of the week. So now you're seeing BR base captured here by Straight Rippin', Basement going to be traded out. And now the big contestation happening on over towards this Nest Bridge. So both teams on the right page here. Just need to make sure that if you're Era, you don't get overzealous here. You do not want to get over aggressive and not push something that you don't have the advantage on. So now Straight Sick finds one kill. You're going to have to find a couple more, and then they could push BR. But when they push BR, you got to be aware that they're going to spawn on over towards Carbine. With Camo coming up, is it worth the risk? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think so as well, but regardless, Era's still doing a strong, has a strong showing right now on Rig Strongholds. And he's just doing a really good job as far as holding Nest and Basement a bit more than they did last time. Clearly they've maybe given it up a couple times in certain cases, but last time it felt like they just every single time would just leave Basement or Nest without any sort of contest. And right now, look at Kratos. I think last game we've seen him just go immediately for BR base, but it looks like he's actually putting a bit more pressure towards Engine 2 or Nest. Getting that nice scatter shot killing Baby J before he gets to that railgun shot. That was, his floor was taken out from underneath them. That was a scary situation for a moment, almost falling off the map, but luckily at least getting the burn on the camo. Now it's just kind of a trade back and forth, but somehow Straight Rippin' still has control of 2 strongholds. I believe they lost Nest in that exchange in that period, which is not ideal. I could have swore Kratos and teammates were pushing on over to contest Nest. Looks like it did not work out, so I'm not sure what to think of these situations because, once again, it seems kind of like those old habits we saw in that match against Betterville. BR base is not so important. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd classify Nest or Basement, like which order number 1 and 2 come into, but either way, those two are clearly favorites above that third.
Kratos doing a great job controlling the power weapons, finds a scatter shot again. Denoxide finally going to drop him, but he's just doing so much damage in this game overall. Can they continue to hold this setup for Straight Rippin? Because it's been so back and forth, but Era has maintained control for majority of this game. Denoxide starting to heat up a little bit as he finds a double kill. Now looking for Kratos over down towards bottom nest area. Great teamwork coming in. Musa with the flank over towards the Carbine side. Straight Stick coming in with some help as well. It's going to be Basement and Nest traded for BR, so advantage on over to Era. And again, we're in these situations where are they going to get aggressive and push the triple cap, or are they going to set up here straight up? And they're already making the decision to go and fly on over towards the barrel side. Very aggressive to start. Baby J, he has to answer with this kill onto Neptune here. Can he land it? Not able to. Good teamwork coming in from Era, and now Straight Rippin. That push is going to slow down just a little bit.
Yeah, and Railgun, I'm not sure exactly what happened to it. I couldn't tell if it fell off the map, but it looks like Kratos opting to just go fight towards Basement a little bit rather than search for that weapon. I could have swore it still probably would have landed down low, down like that sewer
Right
side.
below him, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm surprised not going out for that because the Railgun is such a powerful weapon here on this map. Like, just those split-second kills that you can get away with, and there's so few power weapons on this map, just only being Scatter Shot and that one. So I'm wondering if Moose is going to at least check that out, or maybe if Kratos called it out to his teammates.
What a play from Musa. Oh, he can't live though. Ace.
Great movement though.
That was great going in there and trying to use the box to his advantage, but Ace, it was him coming in there with the cleanup. Denoxide, he's going to find the Railgun, and Denoxide has to control this overpass area. So many players on his radar. He's going to have one player below him, another right next to him, and another one on the catwalk area. Straight Rippin, not able to hang with Era here in the Rig strongholds. Fairly surprising considering how sloppy Era seemed in that Betterville series, but looks like Straight Rippin now looking a little bit sloppy here. Can Musa continue to lay the hurting down with the Railgun? He does. Ace going to answer that. Straight Stick, he's got control right now of the barrel side. He's got to make his way on over towards the white hole again. That's the area that you want to continue to control, especially if you have the weapons and the nest. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get Straight Rippin out though. Straight Rippin with the last ditch effort, it's going to pay out for them, but can't really afford any mistakes and allow these guys to retake Basement like it just happened. So Straight Rippin on the verge of losing game number 3 here is the triple cap now going to be in effect. Era looking extremely strong compared to their previous series. Night and day difference in their series against Betterville.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's one of those situations where I would have expected them to lose this game pretty handily based on how we saw them play against Betterville, and maybe it could just be team matchups, or, you know, you can't always just base how one game plays out for an entire team. So maybe it was wrong of us to assume that Era's not too strong of a team on this game type, or just even blanket classify them as not a strong objective team, because clearly they can hang a Straight Rippin, in fact, dominating them 100 to 51.
Yeah, and the power weapon kills were in favor of Straight. The slays were in favor of Straight by only a couple, but 100 to 51, not even close in terms of the score, virtually doubling them up there. Got to give credit, again, to Era for controlling the strongholds and learning from their mistakes. I'm not sure if they, heard what we were talking about from before or just kind of applied it themselves, but exactly what they were doing against Betterville is the opposite here against Straight Rippin. They did not overextend. They used the numbers to their advantage, and they took what was being given to them. Now we move into Truth CTF here in game number 4 in this best-of-7 series. Again, this is an Era team coming from the elimination bracket. So Straight Rippin sitting on that winner's bracket side is going to have to lose this best-of-7 and then lose another best-of-7. That happened in Legendary Cup number 2 against VT. Who knows if it's going to happen again here against an Era squad who ended up beating VT when we weren't expecting it. It was 2-1 in favor of VT. Keep in mind, 2 back-to-back games. It was Empire Strongholds and then Regret Slayers. So plenty of potential here on this Era squad.
So one thought I have now, after having watched Era play 2 different games of Rig Strongholds, A hypothesis is maybe they've had times in the past where they haven't capitalized and gotten the trip caps that they needed to. Because you've always had those times with teams where it's like, all right, we're playing too passive, be more aggressive. And you go in the end where you're now too aggressive, and now you need to bring it back to being more passive, kind of going above and below that line of like that ideal amount of aggression that you need or whatever the metric you're using. So I wonder if that's a situation maybe Era's been struggling with. Maybe in the past they haven't been getting as many trip caps as they feel like they should have been getting on something like Strongholds, and then maybe trying to do that during that last series, and then this one's like a bit more reserved.
Don't
Maybe
try to
they're
do too much.
yeah, now it was like, all right, now we went a little too hard or far in that direction. Maybe they reeled it back a little bit. So
And
that
just so
could
you
also be a
guys know,
possibility.
Dave's hypothesis turned to theory to fact very, very fast. So we're
Within
about
one legendary cup.
yeah,
it
we're
does.
we're in one legendary cup from this being like a pure fact, honestly. So you got to watch out for that. But it's a real science that Dave is bringing to the table here. CTF Truth game number 4, excuse me, because game number 3 was so fast. Rig Strongholds again went into the favor of Era. Can they go up 3-1 in this series? Crazy to think about. They could have been down 2-0 going into what we thought was a for sure loss in game number 3. Instead, they are pushing this one to the max, starting it off with Colin.
Yeah, see what he does right at the start. We know he's aggressive. We know sometimes he's a bit sneaky, but this time he is going up front and center as he goes top center, distracting amongst 3 different players. Clearly he gets taken down, but he was laying out some damage, doing some good work there. Camo going in the hands, I believe that was Musa? No, Corey.
Straight sick.
Yeah, Straight sick got, but Musa somehow already has his flag out back to his base. I'm surprised he's not ground pounding it in, but either way,
Wow.
that is first cap for Era. Era looking like a complete new team.
30 seconds in, putting one onto the scoreboard. Era, they have a new sign of life breathed into them again. Ever since that little flag standoff that they had in CTF Truth in this game type right here, where it was 2-1 to beat Betterville, they have turned it up to another level. Now find themselves on the verge of a potential 3-1 series lead here after fighting their way down in that elimination bracket. Straight sick, he's underneath the base lane, a couple shots on Kratos. He's gonna find a kill onto Ace. This flag is being pulled out already down towards the car side. Straight Rippin only has 1 player over there to try to stop it. It's gonna be commonly at least finding a kill, but Musa, he answers right back. Neptune answers right back onto the Nox side. The last 2 members from Straight are desperately trying to stop this over towards the pink side, but it's not gonna happen. 2-0 in favor of Era.
And this is scary for Straight right now. So for example, Straight sick, I would not be doing that in his shoes at this exact moment because there is goose potential in this game, I would guess. I mean, this game has been going so quick, only a minute and a half, and they have 2 caps in. This is really tough for Straight Rippin. So we're gonna have to see if Era can close this out or if Straight Rippin can actually get back in this one, because right now, to me, it's looking like this is gonna be a 3-1 series going into game number 5.
Yeah, you don't have much time to be bagging right there if you want to try to get these geese on the board, but unfortunately for Straight Sick in the squad, it looks like Straight Rippin starting to push up and getting some control here as the Nox side flying inside of the window. You do have Commonly on over towards the car side. Baby J, he's going to fly in as well. The Nox side answering with a kill, but Straight Sick clears out Ace, and now Straight Rippin, they're in a 2-on-2 situation, which is not what you want to be in when you're starting to collapse. It looks like Era going to clear out all members of Straight Rippin and now starting to advance on the map. Staggered spawns on the side of Straight, so you got to be careful. Ace at least gets a kill onto Neptune. Camouflage, it's sitting on the map right now, and keep in mind, Straight Sick picked it up last time, and he's in position right now to help his team pick it up again.
Yeah, we'll go on Musa. Last time Musa, I would argue, kind of used that camo as a distraction as he pulled on that first flag and brought that first flag in. Looks like this time he has camo in his hand, so we can see how he's going to use this. I really like how he's being aggressive with it. I never like when players are too defensive, just going back towards their own base. So Musa helping finish off a kill, bringing that towards ping. Gets picked off by Ace and Commonly, but still his head was in the right spot.
I do think the play was correct, but the route was not correct. When you're camouflage right there, tossing it out bottom center, definitely the play. If someone wasn't in pink, yeah, you never know, could have worked out, but it doesn't matter because the aggression is there and Straight Rippin is nowhere to be found. Ace finds a kill, but it's not going to do much because Baby J, he's going to have to desperate, and he's already getting pinned down. This flag is for sure going to go in. 3-0, give this series 3-1 on over to Era. It is a best of 7, so still one more before they bracket reset this one, but wow, out of nowhere, it goes from 1-0 in favor of Straight into a 50-46 game number 2, a dominating game number 3, 100-51, and then an absolutely ridiculous game number 4. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to Nox side, 2-7. Meanwhile, on the other end, 9 kills for Kratos, 9 kills for Neptune. Era looking like a scary team here in the grand finals.
Yeah, I wouldn't be as scared of about the bracket reset, but the fact that Era is just handling straight in these objective games, because that was kind of the question mark before. Was like, all right, we've seen Era win some Slayers. They won that Empire Strongholds, but can they do in other objective games? The answer is yes. Clearly, Rig Strongholds and True CTF, those were slaughters.
No doubt about it. So now we move into Regret Slayer, game number 5 in this best of 7 series. Straight Rippin on the verge of being bracket reset here. They're going to have to get it going. They're going to have to stop the bleeding somehow, because it's been 3 straight games ran off from Era. And it's interesting to see how these things work out, Dave. You watch the scrims happen all the time, and you see how the scores work out. Very rarely is it one team wins one game, then the other wins the other. A lot of times it's teams stringing together 3 or 4 wins back to back. Win 4 here, lose 4 there. But when it happens here at the tournament, that's when big runs can start to happen. You can't afford to let teams run off games like Straight Rippin's allowing these guys to do right now. They're going to have to put a patch on it, or it's going to get very, very ugly very soon. Keep in mind, they lost 4-1 last week against VT, same exact scoreline, and then came out and lost 4 straight after that. So they're going to have to get it together here and, again, get some sort of momentum to stop how hot these guys are on Era right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Straight Rippin is a good team, but this is also kind of a test for them as well, going up into Denver right now, being put in these rough situations where clearly when they're ahead and they're winning the series, they can close them out, they can win 3-0. However, it seems like as soon as Straight Rippin starts to get down, it's really tough for them to get back in a series when they've been losing games.
Yeah, it looks like completely 2 different teams, honestly.
Yeah.
From one team that looked like almost like you're watching Optic Gaming play a CTF Fathom with the amount of teamwork that you're seeing, then all of a sudden you watch the other points of views, and what they were doing to other teams was happening to them right there in that CTF Truth. So it's really weird to see the big difference from a 3-0 in CTF Fathom to getting 3-0'd on CTF Truth. But the big worry for me happened in that rig game, where it was 100-51, and that wasn't very close compared to the amount of slays that were being put up. So to me, I think that one thing that could happen with the Straight Rippin squad is getting a little bit lackadaisical, being into the realization that, hey, we already have this best of 7 kind of in the bag. We're up 1-0. We have the bracket reset to kind of fall back on, and then frustration can kind of start settling in, and things can not be taken as seriously. But that's, again, where you got to get tested, and this is where the big dogs come out to play, and it's completely different intensity going in from a scrim, and you have to always play these scrims out as if they were a tournament and still have that same mental determination to never falter and never get negative in here. And again, you're going up against an Era team that is extremely, extremely high on momentum right now. You got to slow that down somewhere.
Yeah, the aggression is so tough to handle, because when things are down and you just get pushed constantly, it's so tough in situations where you just have pressure. You don't have that breathing room. It's a lot tougher when, compared to the situation where you get all 4 down and then the other team kind of lets you spawn and make a push on your own. In this case, it's just been no breathing room. So Era's been doing a really good job pressing their advantage when they have it.
No doubt about it. Just waiting for the players to ready up. Then we're going to get this one underway. Game number 5, Regret Slayer. Era in the lead 3-1 here in Legendary Cup number 3. Era, I think this is the first time we've even called their name in Legendary Cups. We haven't called their name in Legendary Cup number 1 or 2. Now this team coming out here and forming and looking extremely solid here in the grand finals.
Yeah, similar to kind of VT last week in Legendary Cup number 2 is the first Legendary Cup that they've competed in together. I believe they were only a team for a few days prior to Legendary Cup number 2, and coming through and winning that one through a bracket reset. Could we see the same for Era?
I think possibly. I mean, the way that these guys are going right now, it's going to be hard to slow them down. We're seeing great plays coming out. Great team shot and just the aggression. I think that's the number one thing to watch out for. And you can't get too concerned with this series if you're Straight Rippin. You got to try to win it, obviously. But what happened last week, 4-1 and then 4-0 immediately after that, there has to be some sort of resetting, some sort of brushing off and getting refocused here. Was that enough time in between games for these guys to get it going? Or is Era going to continue to be running on all cylinders? We're about to find out, Dave. What do you think? Is this one getting closed out right here in Regret Slayer?
With Era aggression, I find it tough to believe that they're not going to close this one out here. It's just going to be a question of, can Straight Rippin somehow pull this back, bring back this full series? Because one thing I think also happens with teams that get hot is you can only stay on fire for so long. I feel like you can't just keep that going indefinitely throughout an entire tournament. That's why you rarely see those teams that have to catch fire winning tournaments. You see them pulling major upsets, taking out top teams. However, you rarely see them consistently having that same aggression, that same sort of emotional investment in every single series, because it's tiring. It's exhausting. And we're going to have to see if Kratos and this Era squad can keep this up through the entire time.
I'm
because
exhausted
right
just listening to you talk about it. I don't know what it is. It's boring me to death. No, I'm just kidding. The knock side. He's got these guys off to a pretty hot lead, but it's only a 1-kill lead. Make that a 2-kill lead as commonly finds a double kill. But the knock side living over here with this battle rifle. Again, this is a situation I believe we found Musa in earlier in the series against VT, where he had that noob combo and was just locking it down. And now Denoxide going to find the green gun. Is he going to be able to land that one? Yes, he is. Taking that player down to no shields, barking it out to his teammates. Great positioning right now for Straight Rippin. This is what you're going to need right now. Again, even if you win this game and say you lose the next game, at least you push this into a 3-2 instead of just being locked down in a 3-1, or 4-1, which is exactly what happened to them last week. And could kind of set into the back of their mind.
Yeah, 3-2 is absolutely winnable series too. That's the thing, is that game number 6 is the last time that a squad like Era could feel comfortable if it does go to game number 6. And then once you're in game number 7, that's where you kind of get that coin toss, or you would argue that Straight has the momentum after winning the 2 previous games. So we'll have to see if we get there, but right now this is the most important, or one of the most important moments in this game as this new overshield will be coming up.
Ooh, the Noxide, no doubt about it. He is starting to heat up. Don't think he's happy with how he's performing in these previous 2 games and is looking to come back fighting here. But as soon as that happens, Neptune, Straight Sick, they both find kills commonly. He answers right back, but Ace, he's the last guy alive, and he's gonna have to pull out something miraculous. Misses the back whack. Kratos, ooh, almost gave him the business, but Ace at least able to trade kills. Not sure what happened with that overkill. It's still there. Neptune wanted to get it, but Musa instead grabbing that one, and at the right time, it's perfect plays coming out from Era. 9:43, I believe that overshield was picked up, Dave, which is fairly late.
Yeah, definitely a little late on that end. However, you notice how teams were kind of setting up for it, and that overshield got pretty melted. Musa was a non-factor that OS. It seemed like he was just kind of cowering near bottom pink and was not able to push out and kind of use that as it should be intended. In most cases, I would argue that overshield should be used to get control of top center or to collapse in for a spawn kill, and it was used for neither.
That's for sure. Let's see what Baby J has in store. He wants to go and thrust up on over towards the car side. Looks like he's got his Air Jordans on as he makes his way on over towards the top of the map. Ace, he's got his kill on the Straight Sick going. You do have good positioning for Straight Rippin, but they don't have the series score in their favor. Obviously down 3-1, not the position that they were expecting to be in after winning game number 1. Looks like a different team here though. Seems like something happened in between that last game and this one here, where a fire has been lit underneath them, and now they are starting to get it going. Or maybe it's just a map and game type of thing. Maybe Era seems to really have their number on the previous 2, but seems like Straight Rippin definitely playing with a little bit more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they're definitely playing much smarter. You also notice the pace of the game slow down a bit. Even when Straight Rippin does have control and they're running around and get some kills, it's nowhere near the same pace that we saw from that Era roster, especially on true CTF. There was just non-stop aggression, non-stop shots coming every single way. Straight Rippin had no breathing room. So right here, it looks like Straight Rippin in a much more comfortable position, especially with their 6-kill lead.
Ace popping up on the kill feed early and often. He gets taken out by Straight Sick right there with the perfect shots. It's a 5-kill lead here for Straight Rippin. 43 is the time to keep in mind here. Kratos, he's already posturing for it, has another player over towards the street. Could be a little off on the time. Kratos, he's a little bit early, 43 there, and he grabs it. Perfect time there. 42 now coming in as the green gun. Denoxide, great job taking down Kratos' overshield, but Kratos responding with the beatdown immediately after that. 4 kills to make up, and map control. Era could do this.
Yeah, Era's absolutely can bring this one back and bring this back to an immediate reset, especially with only being 1 kill difference right here. So this is going to be really rough. That was also, the other part I wanted to highlight was, it seems like Kratos has some good movement when he's trying to grab that OS. Like, it also happened over, I want to say, on Empire, where he grabbed that overshield, kind of jukes for a minute, and stays alive when someone should have possibly been able to finish him off. And then right there, once again, as he grabs that, knows how to do the right thrust, the right jump, just to stay alive and let that overshield activate.
Oh, so 1000%. Kratos has improved his mechanics, his map movement, and his shot overall. So it's definitely a good sign for him, considering where he's came from. Just, you know, imagine the shoes that he's had to walk through from going in and getting 2nd place, now all the way fighting through these legendary cups very similar situation that Straight Sick has been in. Straight Sick at the top in Halo 5. Heck, even look at players like Ace and Commonly. These guys were highest placings up to second and third place respectively. So it's very interesting now to see them in this type of situation. But yet, when you look at these teams in the Legendary Cups and you look at what's going on moving into Denver, who's to say that either one of these teams couldn't break into the top 6?
Yeah, that's absolutely feasible. I think a lot of these pro teams are going to be used to a bit more slow, methodical play when it comes to playing at Denver. And when you get in those land environments, when you go to some of these teams that are just used to aggression and wanting to challenge those 1v1s, they're not going to know how to react nearly as well.
38-38, all tied up here. Straight Sick with the battle rifle shots, laying down some serious fire again. 42 is the time on that overshield. Era, they've picked up every single one so far. They're in great position to do it again. 40-39. All they got to do is secure this one, and they should virtually be over. It looks like Ace is on top of it. Can he live? No. Neptune shutting it down a little bit too early there for Ace, but at least what a lunge. Are you kidding me? Denoxide somehow able to respond back to that one, but Musa, man, that guy is flying.
Yeah, this is just crazy back and forth right now. Every single one of these kills is so pivotal because it's just going to relate into some team advantage. Like right now, it's a 2-on-2 situation, so luckily both teams getting some trades. But right now, we could see Era getting a spawn trap situation. They had 3 down for just a moment. They should know where all the members of Straight Rippin are spawning, especially since they picked off that last member.
Not looking good for Straight Rippin here. They are definitely on the ropes. 46-43 map control again in the favor of Era. They have all 4 members trapped for Straight Rippin, and they only need 4 kills. Here's the collapse on over towards Red. Neptune finds one. Baby J and Denoxide answering on to Kratos and Neptune as well. Musa, he's kind of caught out of nowhere over here towards the Eli. Can they respond with the grenade? Baby J finds another one. Ace not able to take him out. Big kill from Musa right there. 47-48. Very tense moment here in the game. Overshield not going to be a play here for another minute, so everyone going to have to do it without it. You do see Denoxide. He gets spotted out over towards car 1. Kratos finds a kill onto Baby J. Now everybody located towards the bottom of the map. Neptune desperately flying in. Can he get the kill onto Ace? No, the pinch coming down towards the bottom. 50-48. Era resetting the bracket.
That is a huge, huge reset. We are going to get to see another best of 7 here for this grand finals. Since Straight Rippin had won the winner's bracket and Era had worked their way back up through the elimination bracket, we now have a brand new, fresh best of 7.
That is what's going down here as we take a look at the kills and the deaths. 19 kills coming out from Denoxide. It wasn't enough, though, in the end. 15-13 for Neptune. Straight Sick, he goes +2 as well. Tons of assists coming in for Era. A decent amount of assists coming in from Straight Rippin, but the big score to remember, 50-48 and 4-1. Very, very nice performance from Era considering where they came from and also how this series started. This series started with just a complete blowout in CTF Fathom. It looked like this was just going to be an absolute demolishing 4